Hello and welcome back to another episode of Back to Basics. We're going in and we're going to correct mistakes and set good habit. Let me lose the Bob Ross for a second here. Just to go over the correcting mistakes part, I feel like in the previous episode I wasn't very clear with some of the things I was talking about. As one of my good users on Discord pointed out, Lonies, I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly. Thank you for saying that. I kind of focused on the wrong muscles when it came to the neck. I wanted to correct that. I wanted to set the course right. I want to make sure that with this whole process, you understand that this is also me learning. This isn't just me teaching. This is both of us sitting down and drawing and learning. So I'm going to try and take back the teachings approach a little bit more and just go into it with what I have. So with that being said, let's get straight into it. Grab a piece of paper, grab a pencil, whatever you have at hand, anything you use, whatever you prefer, and kind of join in with me as well as we kind of look at this and we learn it. So I have prepared a couple of references here today. For the correcting part, we have the neck muscles again, and these are some great references by 𝐏𝐫𝐸𝐬. I hopefully pronounced your name right, sir. This is his stuff on ArtStation. It was very useful, and what I like about it is it really focuses on what we need to know here. Now, I don't ever want to get too technical in this because I don't really want to learn the names of the muscles yet. I feel like it's better that I learn where they are. I know that it's probably better to learn both things at the same time, but I have, just for learning's sake, written down, we have the trapezius here. These are the trapezius muscles, so they make up your traps basically. And then we have the sternoidomastoid. This is a reason why I don't want to learn these at the moment, but these are the muscles we want to focus on. These help us create the structure of the neck. So these muscles will connect to the side of the skull and also to the back of it. So this is just really what we want to learn here. I want to emphasize these ones, and I know we went over this in the previous one, but I want to correct it a little bit more. Because as you can see, when we are drawing a human, an actual full-figured human, you can very, very much see these muscles working here. You can see where they're connecting, you can see the parts of them. It's important that we learn them. There's the tendons, I believe. They're like the connecting points to the bone. This is my understanding of them. I looked at anatomy for sculptors. This was also explained in there a little bit more. And I'm just going to go ahead and... So I have my silhouette, which I'm now going to use as a way to correct myself from the previous episode. But also, this needs to be extended. There we go, that looks a little bit better. So let's have a look at the muscles here that we need to draw and look at the connection points. I'm going to use a red to highlight this. So we can see this connects to the skull down here. There's a connection point which we do not want to miss. It goes pretty much behind the ear. So that's where we're going to put it. Let me remove that just so it's much clearer. And then what we like to do here, we want to highlight this. This is a V shape. It goes from here to here and then back to there. This is a good way to have it. If you think about having these connection points behind the ear, this is me explaining how I'm breaking this down. There's connection points behind the ear. Obviously, this actually, in reality, will loop around here. It's not going to be a straight V, but it's a good guideline for you. Obviously, this is also where the collarbone is going to be found. So I'm going to roughly put that in there, just so we have the basis of what to go off of. Cool. And let's connect the muscle now. So get a nice straightish line going down here. Muscle extends outwards and then goes inwards down here. Paying attention to details like that is going to help you out in the long run. The fact that this isn't just a straight line going down there, it's actually a fully kind of pumped up muscle here. This connects to the collarbone here, and then like I just mentioned, remember what I'm seeing here, observing this, is the muscle is not just going straight over there. There's a curve to it. It's not simply straight. So remember to add that. I realize I may have to move this down a little bit, so to correct myself. Actually, no, I'm gonna draw it again just to make sure I'm doing a good correction. Just moving it in slightly and curving it, of course, making sure it's curved. There we go. And in reality, we would have, I'm going to do a faint kind of markup. This here would be connecting. And this kind of curves around and it connects to the back. If you imagine the other ear is somewhere over here, this is behind the ear and it's connecting at the back. So it's almost a looping around. It's like a ribbon going around your neck. That's how I'm seeing it. Cool. So we have these two muscles connecting to the collarbone, which are going to be an important factor of any drawing, any portrait drawing that we do, or face. And then we have the bottom part of the muscle here. The books didn't state what these were called, but I believe they're exactly the same name. And then I'll connect them to the collarbone here. So you can see this whole, it's almost creating a singular structure here. Like there's this curve here that continues. It's almost like a upside down Y that you have to think of here. And that collects right over here. So let's go back to a black marker, and I'm going to kind of fill in the collarbones here, which I'm just going to put them in there roughly. And then we have the other muscles which I want to focus on here, which are also equally as important, and that's the trapezius, the trapezius muscles. These go around here and connect to the edge of the collarbone, almost at the meeting point of the shoulder. They go all the way over here. Okay, let's make sure my blue is a neon, so it's even more visible. These muscles will go down here and connect to the collarbone itself. And same goes for the other side. A cool way that the book was showing it is that this is almost like a carved out shape here. And you can join these two with a half circle, a semicircle or something. If I could do it, it would be useful. Okay, yeah, that will do. So imagine this is like a cutout here. So you have the shadow in this section. And these are trapezius muscles. Equally as important, these construct our entire neck. This is the ones you want to focus on the most whenever you are drawing like a bust of a character. I'm going to fill these in a little bit just so it's a little bit more clear. And of course, we have the connecting tendons here to the bone, which give us that cool look, that cool muscly look, you know, the lean look. So that pretty much outlines where we want to put these muscles on our neck. The way we can also construct this is, I saw in the other book, use this part as a cylinder. So whenever you are constructing the neck and filling in these bits of information for the neck, so these muscles in particular, make sure you kind of give yourself some shapes to play with. And this one's going to be a big cylinder that you're going to put in the middle here. So make sure that is on your to-do list whenever you're drawing. Now I'm going to make this a little bit lighter. And I'm going to kind of go over this to now build our muscly neck. Remembering the structure of the muscles, where I've put them. Also checking in with the reference. Make sure you guys are also checking with the reference. I am always trying to do that. And we have the muscle coming down here. It's going to kind of go blend in with the muscle a little bit more. With the sterno. I'm just going to call it sterno because the name is too long. But, kind of filling in there. We have a faint outline of this being produced here just so we have a nice neck. And then we can look at these little sections to fill in some information. And then, of course, this muscle is going to create this look over here, filling in the trap. And here as well. And we can use shadow nicely to fill this stuff in and make it look a little a little more professional, I'd say. A little bit more sophisticated, you know. So when you have the knowledge of this stuff, you can show it off. And it will definitely really improve the look of your figures. That's what I'm feeling, at least. With this base sort of knowledge, it will definitely help out when it comes to drawing my own characters. Definitely made this a little bit too bold of a line. I want to make it a little bit smaller. We have the Adam's apple over here. No the technical word for it, but it's the Adam's apple. I'm just going to do some cross-hatching here, nothing too fancy. And then the traps obviously come in here. Filling in more of the muscle as we go along. And pay attention to this bit here. This is important as well. You often get to see this on drawings. This is the empty space created by this muscle. The muscle connections here. It's almost like there's nothing here, so the skin fills it and we get to see this shape form. And I'll add a little bit of a line here as well, just to really emphasize the fact that there's a lot of muscle going on here. Let's see the result. That looks pretty cool. Look at that. That's a good looking neck. Maybe not as good as the reference, but we have a couple points to fill in, which will probably be somewhere over here. We need a little bit more shadow, which I kind of forgot about. Looking at the undertone, underlayer, making sure we're on the right track, filling in a little bit of the shadow here. And then the trapezius muscle goes around here, as we remember. So we have to kind of fill in a line here. And here we have a wonderful forming neck. That is much better than the previous one, I'd say. We've got a little bit of a clearer understanding, I hope, of this, just exactly what's going on here. You know, with shading, this would look a lot nicer, obviously, but we're doing some cross-hatching here, so it's not necessary to go in with a full shading tutorial right now, but we'll definitely be doing some of that later on, because I don't really do rendering on digital. But I can say that was a good set of practice. If I make this a little bit bolder, we can see the underlying muscles that we just created and that we just filled in over here. That's pretty cool. Pretty cool. I'm very happy that this was something that was brought up to me. I'm glad I was able to kind of correct this bit. A little bit more of an understanding. That's what learning these fundamentals is obviously about. You want to be learning and you want to be correcting mistakes, which is why this episode is also called Forming Good Habits, or something like that. That's what I will call it. We want to be able to correct these things. We want to stay humble, and, you know, we make a mistake. What's the best thing you can do? You correct it. There's nothing else to it, really. And with that, we've come to the end of... No, not yet, because I'm stuck making some lines better. There we go. So there it is. Let's have a look at it properly. I'll turn off my webcam a little bit so you can get the full focus. Here is our boy, Neculus, the neck, big neck. We can see the clear muscle structure being created here. There's definitely the Y shape that we talked about over here. We got to bear that in mind, that there's like a connection forming here with the other muscles. Have a look at it now. Yeah, you can see the structure being formed here and the trapezius almost surrounding this entire structure that we have built. I want to thank you for participating in this session of Back to Basics. I think it was good to correct this, and I want to remind everyone here that this is a learning process for both of us. I'm using this as an excuse to get better or not, and I hope you hop along with me and do it with me and enjoy it as much as I do. it's a little bit more clear now for me. Let me know for you in the comments whether this was a little bit clearer than the previous one, if you've seen it, whether this helped you. Sorry that it's the same thing again as it was before. We'll definitely move on to something else in the next one, but I did want to clear this up. I think it was important to do that. So with that, I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, let me know by leaving a like or a emoji in the comments that you got this far. Leave me a paintbrush emoji or a pencil emoji. Yeah, do a pencil emoji that you got this far and you've enjoyed the video, and let me know.